What's going on, my dude skis? My name is Sister Turley, and this is the track review of some crazy long title that I cannot memorize for the life of me. So it's something like training camp, something or another. They should have just named it Honolulu Supercross, but this reminded me of a really cool old school idea I had. Like, why do they not have a Hawaii AMA Supercross round? Would that not be sick, dude? Like, fly everybody out there and have cool palm trees around the track and those amazing grass mountains in the background. I just think that would be something that would take Supercross to the next level. But I think it would be really cool if they did something unique on track as well, like maybe have the whole track sand or something different and kind of throw a curveball in there, sort of how Daytona is. I just think that would be something that would be pretty cool. But one thing about this track is if the trees aren't showing up for you, the guy didn't actually put the full name of the track properly in the billboard. So just warning you guys, I'm about to blow your brains with some crazy coding talk right here. So I'm just going to try to explain to some of you out there that sort of know how it works a little bit. I'm going to explain to you, if the trees aren't showing up, how to make them show up. So me being a track maker, I know how everything works in this game, so if something's not showing up right, I can kind of pretty much figure out what they've done wrong. So all you got to do is just go in there to the billboard file. You want to go to the one that you got to right click and hit Notepad++ on. You don't want to go to the one that you just click on and see like pictures of trees. You want to go to the one that has all the numbers and the coding, and you want to go in there and just simply change the name. It'll look kind of like the name of the track, and you want to go in there and make sure that is perfect to the name of the track in the file. And I think all he was off by is like 2 or 3 little letters. I think that's all that he messed up on there. And the thing about it is the coding in this game, you have to have it perfect or it won't read properly. So I'm talking capitals, I'm talking spaces. You need to make sure you got it perfect there. And then once you do that, all you do is you just go in there and change all the names to the right name, and then the billboard trees should show up for you. And I realize for about 95% of you guys out there, all the stuff I just said probably just went in one ear and out the other, and I realize that, but do whatever you want to do, man. If you don't want to see the trees, that's cool. I'm just trying to explain to you guys how to make them show up. So that's kind of a little bit of a perk of building custom tracks and knowing how everything works. You can just pretty much fix anything that's wrong with the track. So getting to the actual track review here, it's a very rough, very bizarre feeling, a lot different than your everyday ordinary smooth Supercross tracks, and you'll get those sketch balls kicker type feeling off of a lot of these jump faces because there's so much roughness, and you'll do those accidental whip scrubs and stuff. I know some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but you'll definitely have that happen on you a little bit. But there's a lot of like quad type sections, but don't get confused and think that this track is like super difficult as far as the jumps go, because it's really not. I mean, you may have something that's a quad right out of a corner, but really the distance of it is not any bigger than your average triple out there. So it's one of those tracks that there's more jumps in between, but it's not really like the peaks of the jumps are any bigger, or the actual distance of them is any more gnarly than any other Supercross track. I think that what'll separate you on this track is just simply the consistency, just keeping it on 2 wheels and not getting those crazy sketchy kickers off of the jumps and stuff. Perfect example right here, bro. Doing that right there, that'll happen a lot on you, where it'll kind of skate out on you a little bit. And if you can just keep your balance on the bike, I think that's the real separator on this track. Not necessarily any big rhythms or anything like that. There is a couple of places where you can kind of huck a 5 jump, but I can't really recommend it because it's those kind of jump sections that is astronomically difficult. And is it really even worth it? I can't tell you that, because a lot of times you're not even really meant to hit those big jumps, and you'll notice that once you get 90 miles an hour into the corner and you can't really slow down and angle your bike properly. You see me like right here, I'm like just going off of the track and having to totally slow down and spend all kinds of time just getting the bike turned around, even though I hit a 5 instead of a quad. So if you're trying to just race on this track, I probably wouldn't recommend hitting those bigger lines. There is one place where you can kind of jump over a wall, and I guess I could recommend doing that. It's a really difficult section, though. That's one thing about this game. On any Supercross rhythms out there, you want to make sure that you're hitting what's good for your skill level. Like if it's some humongous jump that you're iffy on, you probably don't want to go for it in a race. Like right here, you can actually jump over that wall. So if you're an amazing professional Pastrana rider, then yeah, go for hitting that wall. But if you're an amateur, you don't want to do that because you're going to lose more time than makeup time on that section. So that's just something you always got to stay humble in this game. You never want to try to go faster than your own skill level. You just got to accept it. You want to be right on your limit, and that's the trickiest part to try to figure out because you don't really know exactly what your limit is. But the way I've kind of figured it out is you want to just turn your brain off in a sense. Like, don't think about really going faster or trying to hit this big rhythm or hit this other thing. You just got to let your mind do the work, and you just flow around the track, and that way you're going on your kind of skill level of speed. You're not going any kind of extra level there, and that's something I've learned with this game. Like, just ride your own race and ride your own pace. And I'm rhyming like a mother trucker right now, but you just want to do your own thing. You know, don't try to base yourself off of anybody else's speed, because that's how you grow in this game. You ride your own pace and you get good at consistency. And then once you've completely mastered the consistency part, that's when you start upping the speed and you start really getting fast in the game. But I'm going off on some kind of crazy MX Simulator guide rant right now. But anyways, these water sections right here, I'm pretty sure that they're not actually any slicker. I know on a lot of my custom tracks, I make my water sections a lot different filling than the rest of the track just to kind of add that dynamic to it. But don't quote me on this. I think that the whole track is just a standard one kind of sandy-like filling. So it's not like you're going to hit a water puddle and lose the front end because it's so slick or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's all one sandy type base to it. So, but the jumps are fun. They're mellow, chill, nothing crazy. But this track is very difficult just in the fact of the roughness and the kind of kickery, ruddy filling of the whole track. So, but definitely something unique and cool right here. I'm hucking that wall jump, and it can definitely save you some time, don't get me wrong, but it is hard to huck for sure. So I'm going to give this track a 7 overall. I think it's actually a little bit of an older track, and you guys will be able to tell that, some of you out there that have rode on older tracks and newer tracks. It just has that old track vibe where the roughness and the whoops and stuff, they're small, but they're tricky in their own right, and the jumps are small, but there's so many jumps in between that it makes it kind of sketchy in that sense as well. So it just has that older track feeling, but still fun. So 7 overall and hard difficulty. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. Later, dudes.